So if you don't already know us, we are former teen parents. Oh wait, I'm sorry, you're still a teen.
I'm still 19.
I'm sorry.
We're former teen parents.
I'm a former teen parent.
I'm almost 20.
We asked my Instagram story to give us some questions so y'all could get to know us better. We'll get to know us, former teens, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're still 19.
You're still on about that?
No, so the first question, how old were you guys when you met?
I was 14.
And I was 15. Second question, how did Noah propose to you? Please explain how you met each other. One, Noah and I were both 17 years old when he proposed to me. I was pregnant with our second baby. I know a lot of people, it's because she was pregnant. Okay, we were gonna get married anyway.
Yeah, I already planned on marrying her even before we got pregnant, even the first time.
Well, I did not expect to be getting engaged at all. Well, one day, one of my best friends at the time came over, and I guess while I left to go get something, Noah and her plotted out a plan. Noah took me to this really scenic hiking area, and so we all just went there and we were gonna do a little hike and take some photos. And then my best friend at the time, she was like, hey, I brought some flower petals because I thought they'd be cute in your photos, right? They're fake flower petals. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. And she was like, you should just throw them up in the air while you're twirling around. I'm gonna do a video of this. And so I did, and then when I turned back around, Noah was down on one knee, and I was like my reaction was so bad. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean,
I thought that was a mean prank, and I was just like, that's so mean.
Oh yeah, I remember you thought it was a prank.
Yeah, I was just caught off guard. I was looking and looking at this ring, and I was like, that is an engagement ring. He's being so for real. I was like, well, yeah. Okay, next. How did you know you were right for each other? This is a really hard question. It just chops down to the fact that we both wanted the same things, and we were also both willing to learn from each other's mistakes, from our own mistakes.
For me, I think we both had it in our hearts because after you're not infatuated anymore, love becomes a choice. And I had it in my heart, this is the person that I want to love for the rest of my life. We had so many hard times that we went through.
That was exactly my thought process as well. And we met at 14 and 15. We discussed this at 14 and 15. And although we probably really didn't understand what lifelong partnership would feel like, but we knew that's what we wanted. I don't date people for fun. I literally had life goals.
Yeah, not only that, what's the point of going through all those hard times with that person and figuring out each other and who we are, what we like, what we don't like? What's the point of figuring all that out if you're not going to be with them in the end?
Neither of us wanted to end up strangers at the end. That was crazy to find at 14 and 15.
It was.
I don't even really truly think we knew what it meant at the time, but we knew it's what we wanted. It was a desire in our heart. The biggest thing we both agreed, God is our number one. We make God number one, we're making each other number one.
God is just so amazing for that because even in all our sin, error, and trial, He still makes things work out in our favor as long as we put Him first.
Yeah.
What was Brianna's reaction upon meeting me?
I had just switched to a new school. I'd never done that before. I was walking in towards the end of the day to go to a class. The second I walked into the class, the teacher was like, are you Brianna? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you need to go to the library. They needed you there for some reason. And I was like, okay, I don't know where the library is. And these two kids, perk up, ooh, I'll take her, these two boys. And I was like, I was actually confused, to be honest, because I was like, because I don't even think I had makeup on. I wasn't even wearing a bra. I did not know I was going to start school that day, because it was literally the second to last class. The teacher picked Noah. So, Miss Adams, if you're out there watching that, my first reaction was flattered. I was flattered because he was so excited to show me around. Second reaction was, he's pretty cute. I think that he's a senior. He had a really deep voice in 9th grade compared to all the other guys. What was Noah's reaction upon meeting me?
So from the moment that you walked in that class, because that's when we met each other, honestly, it is kind of hazy for me too, but I do remember specifically that you were wearing, that Stevens hoodie, And
To the other school.
yeah, and then you had like I called it your peacock hair, because you had like it was like green and some other colors in there. I wasn't planning on dating, but then whenever I saw her, I was like, okay, that plan's kind of going out the window. I'm gonna go talk to her. It was like a spotlight went on you, and like in my head, like, yeah, sounds cliche. Everything else around me just kind of like blurred out, and me and my other friend, we look at each other like multiple times, like back and forth, like, oh, she's cute. Then she chose me.
Those two fought over me for a while after that.
Oh, I remember
And
that. Oh
the
my
other
goodness.
kid, no offense, but the other kid was a green flag compared to Noah. Like, I have no idea what in me was like, yep, this one. But I'm glad. I'm really, really glad, truly. But like, the other kid was a green flag compared to this one. Like, no offense.
Yeah.
I think that we clicked. Did you enjoy your wedding so young, and will you have a bigger one?
It was kind of stressful, if I'm being honest. It was really amazing. I'm so glad that I married you. You were like really sick, so we kind of just had to like up and do it on a day where she was the least sick. So we were like, oh, today she's not that sick. Today would probably be the best day to do it. Otherwise, it's probably not gonna happen for 8, 7, 6 months, whatever. But the whole wedding itself was amazing. I was just happy that we could get married.
Yeah, I was just happy that we could get married. I think that the situation was really stressful because it was sad. We weren't going to have our church or the congregation. Our pastor didn't marry us, but Noah's dad got ordained and he married us. It was Noah's dad, Noah's mom, my dad, and Noah's brother, Noah's sister, and my best friend. And that's it. We just did it at a park. I remember being really happy that we were finally getting married, and I was, because we weren't allowed to be alone in rooms with each other.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That was terrible.
That
And
was pretty
everything
bad.
before we were married was extremely stressful all the time. Was really happy to be married. I was just really sad about certain situations surrounding it. Sometimes it still makes me a little sad, but I don't know if we would have a bigger wedding. Like, at first I did. I was like, don't worry,
yeah.
we're gonna have a bigger ceremony. But then I like thought about it and I was like, actually no, because actually none of y'all are coming because you didn't want to be there and support the first time.
At first, I really wanted to have a big wedding in the future, and I planned it. But honestly, now, probably not.
No.
Can you talk about your experience being married young?
I feel like every time you ask somebody about their experiences being married, they kind of like laugh. And they're like, it's so hard. I hardly feel like people nowadays are like, it's been wonderful. I think the biggest difference in our experience because we were young is that we lived at Noah's parents. But it's pretty much what happened because we were young. We could not get our own place until
Yeah.
Noah was 18,
We literally
even though we
couldn't.
were married, so that was dumb. And what other experience is different because we're young? We are growing up together, and I think that that's so different compared to the people who get married at like 30 per se, because you've already grown up, you already had your childhood experiences. It depends, because some people marry somebody they grew up with later in life, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that we grew up together in a relationship together. We are growing up together in a relationship together. That could come with a lot of cons. That also comes with a lot of pros for us. I feel like people are like, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna grow apart. Well, we're doing this, we're growing up together. We're learning together. It's hard. Our immaturity shows at points. Sometimes Noah's gotta tell me, like, you need to grow up. And sometimes I gotta tell Noah, like, you need to grow up. And, like, everybody else around us is probably looking at us both like, y'all need to grow up.
Thinking of a divorce in the future? That doesn't make
No.
sense.
Do you intend to have more kids? How many would you want if it wasn't for HG pregnancies?
I've been thinking about it a lot more, and I think sometime in the future, 3 sounds like a solid number.
Yeah, I want 4 to 5 kids. I don't know if I will actually get 4 to 5 kids because of HG pregnancy. It's really hard on me, but it's
Very.
really hard on those around me as well. But I want at least 1 more because our family doesn't feel complete yet, and we are really young.
And
So we have a lot of time. It's just because my pregnancies were so hard, And not just on me. People are always like, "Oh, she's the one that's going through it and stuff like that." But like seriously, Noah and his family went through it with me. Like,
We got a few things that we should probably do first.
unfortunately, I know I really want to make a baby right now, but seriously, with my pregnancies, it's ridiculous. So just. So we had a ton more questions that we could read for you guys, and we could totally do a part 2, but we did just get through the questions specifically about our relationship.
Yep.
If you want a part 2, you guys can let us know, because there was some pretty good questions in here, but man, is this video going to be long if I get through all of them.
This was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think we should definitely do it again.
You guys asked some good questions. There was very good personal ones in there. If you want to be a part of asking these questions, just follow me on Instagram so that you can see the stories when I put them out. I do want to get to know you guys, and I want you guys to get to know us, because, I mean, we're trying to build a family here, like,
Yeah.
online, right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be all for this YouTube video.
You're so beautiful. Bye.